Today on Jeep News, let's talk about some new trims that are starting to arrive on lots, brand new colors that you can order right now, where the heck is the Willys 392, and a major milestone for a trim that never should have existed. All this and more in Jeep News, April 2026. Today's video is sponsored by our friends over at Clayton Off-Road. You guys know we have been running Clayton Off-Road suspension systems and accessories on our vehicles since the inception of Dirt Road CRED just over 3.5 years ago. Well, quite recently, we've added a lot more of their products onto our website, including their Overland Plus suspension systems, which we've actually sold quite a few of those, and you guys that have bought those got Mega Mundo entries into our current giveaway. What's nice is that you're seeing these lift kits on our website. You can see the full installs, and also we hung out with Clayton, one of the owners, down at Daytona Jeep Beach, and you guys absolutely loved everything that they were doing. Quite frankly, there was someone that came down there, a good customer of ours. He was on the fence between two lift brands, ended up choosing Clayton Off-Road and got entries into our 2026 Jeep Gladiator Mojave Vice giveaway. Now, this giveaway is going to end August 31st of 2026. There is no purchase necessary, and the full rules are on dirtroadcred.com. But for all of you guys that picked up shirts, picked up anything that we sell, thank you guys so much, and hopefully that Jeep's going to end up in your driveway. Well, guys, let's start it off. The first section of this video, let's do the 12 for 12, all these ducks that are dropping once a month from Jeep.com, and let's talk about some of the things that we've seen not only at the shows, that we've seen online, and then from our good friends that are sending us photos. If you guys didn't know, we were recently down at Jeep Beach in Daytona this past week, and we saw a lot of cool things, quite frankly, down at the show. Not only all of our viewer rigs and a ton of really cool vehicles out in the parking lot. If you want to see that whole video, click the link down below. You can watch the whole Jeep Beach video. But we saw a rock slide, or half of a rock slide edition, at the Jeep booth at Jeep Week. What was interesting about it, it was built off of Sahara trim, but it had the anvil top, it had the anvil grille, and the side graphics. But on the interior of the vehicle, it did not have any of the blue leather or the blue dash or anything that was kind of what we thought was going to come in a rock slide edition. It was very interesting to see it there, especially at the Jeep booth, almost half done. And Ryan, I do remember that was out in Moab too. That same vehicle, I saw it briefly, didn't know what it was because it didn't have anything done on the inside. So very curious on what that's actually going to look like. And it's quite funny. We talked to the guys at Rock Slide Engineering who were flattered that they used the name, but we're also like, just include a set of our steps on there from JPP. So funny little story there. Behind the Jeep booth as well, this is a build that we've been kind of thinking about in the back of our head. They had a 41 Gladiator lifted on about a 2.5 to 3 inch lift with 37s on the factory wheels. Ryan, you can agree with me. That thing looked just amazing. I mean, right out of the gate, just a little lift kit and wheel and tires on that. And that was a very, very, very good looking Jeep. It was kind of cool to see somebody already doing that. And I believe that was from a local dealership down there in Daytona. Maybe it was Daytona, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, but they have like a speed shop or a custom shop, and they brought that one with them. So kind of neat to see one that was already built up a little bit and start to get some ideas after we checked out the 41 Gladiator in person just the other week. Now, speaking of dealerships, our good friend Randy over at Jim Marsh Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram out in Las Vegas, Nevada, just texted a photo. They received their first Jeep Gladiator white cap. Really neat to see on the Gladiator white cap there, everything that was going on with that Jeep. And that one was an anvil. It was either anvil or blue, and it was really neat to actually see one of those kind of in some photos there. We're going to be going out there pretty soon to talk with those guys a little bit more, and hopefully you're going to see them more on the channel here. But thank you to Randy. He's always been such a great friend of ours. He took custody of our 41 Jeep during SEMA, and we just really hit it off and have remained a fantastic friendship with him and the team at Jim Marsh Jeep. So really neat to see one of those. Another 12 for 12 drop that we've seen in person. But speaking of 12 for 12s, Ryan, where's the Willys 392?
Well, let's get into the Super Jeep first. And then...
So not where's the Willys 392, the next Jeep. Yeah, okay. Maybe leave that in and I'll be like, what? So we got a little tease. If you're following Instagram and it's like the Jeep Life thread or like Instagram Messenger, you constantly get like little videos and little kind of quirky things about what the next drop is. And the next duck is the red, white, and blue one. And it actually had like, if you watch the video that was sent, it like turns into a superhero or like comic book kind of backdrop. I'm like, man, what's that thing going to be? You know, now all of our guesses seem to work out okay, but you never know with this one. Back in the day, the CJ5, they actually produced a limited edition trim called the CJ5 Super Jeep. Makes a lot of sense with Superhero's Super Jeep. And what was interesting with that one is they actually had a Stars and Stripe package on it. So if you looked on the side of it as well as the hood, you got Stars and Stripes. It was a very patriotic Jeep, and it was a CJ5, so just the narrow little doors. I'm very curious if they're going to be doing a Super Jeep model for the May drop, May 12th, and that would tie in perfectly with the blue denim soft top that we saw on the back end of the order guide. We actually asked Vinny over at Moab, and Vinny, we'll give you a shout. So if anyone's watching from Jeep, he didn't give up anything.
Yeah.
We
cornered him, and
we said, "What is this? What's it gonna be?"
Put a bag over his head.
And he
took him to
said,
a warehouse.
"No, I can't do it. I can't do it."
Yeah.
But I personally think blue denim soft top, which they had those on the Super Jeeps back in the CJ5. They're going to use the Rock Slide interior, which is that denim blue, and they're going to make a Super Jeep trim. What? Maybe red, white, and blue. Maybe red, white, and blue, and they'll make it with a Stars and Stripe package. They'll do a decal group on it. It would make sense. And use some leftover Rubicon red seats, maybe. I don't know. Or blue denim seats from the Rock Slide. We'll have to wait and see, but that is our prediction for the May 12th drop. And, you know, the fact that they're launching a new soft top, that might give you hope for the future of different colored soft tops coming out. I'm excited to see what a denim blue looks like. I think on your Anvil, blue denim soft top would look pretty cool. So we're excited about that one, but that is our prediction for the next 12 for 12 drop, the Super Jeep, or they might call it something else. But it would also make sense if you can order that coming up soon. Maybe they'll start to hit lots for the 4th of July, or they're going to do an America 250 edition, just like a company that we talked to down at Jeep Beach, the America 250 on the mech magnet wrap. We actually might be getting one of those in to install. That they just nailed. But yeah, so really curious on that one, but that's what we think the next 12 for 12 drop is going to be. But speaking of, let's talk about a drop that came out a few months ago and
crickets.
Just crickets. Yeah, the Willys 392.
Yeah,
where is it? Hey Anthony, we will take 3 Willys 392s right now, please.
I'm wondering for the store.
You're ordering 2 for the store? Awesome. This is the introduction of Future Matt. We filmed this video yesterday, and at that time, the Willys 392 orders were not open. Fast forward today is Friday, May 1st, nearly 2 months after the announcement, and the order banks are open for the Willys 392. We've been getting texts from all of our dealership friends, which we've got an awesome dealership affiliate program, and they have been sending us all sorts of information. So let's just roll down through. We'll take a look at what the Willys 392 is, some of the options, and a little bit of the price point. Right off the bat, a Willys 392 base MSRP is $69,995. You can get a couple options on here, but some things are a little bit interesting. You can get a dual top group for $24.95, hardtop headliner, vinyl flooring, multifunction accessory rail, all-weather floor mats, the black hardtop, which is required right now for $18.95 on the Willys 392. It's a bit interesting because it drives the price up about $2,000, and this is currently required if you place an order. There is no Sky One Touch to be seen right now, but you can get the Performance Black Grille, and you can also get the Sun Rider for hardtop, which is the soft top material that flips back on the Freedom panels. Ryan, here's a cool one, because when have we ever seen this many colors available? 41, Anvil, black, white, firecracker, Goldilocks, granite, hydro, juice, mojito, rain, and Tuscadero. What is that, 4, 8, it's like 12 colors? Yeah, 12 colors right now on the Willys 392. Now, what's really interesting as well is as you look at that MSRP, you're not seeing anything like a destination fee. So destination on most of these vehicles, unless you're in, I think, Alaska or Hawaii, is up to $19.95. So add $2,000, you're just at about $72,000 for this vehicle. Now, what I found is really interesting, we're still waiting all the specs on what's on it, but from what it looked like from that introduction, steel front and rear bumpers, leather power interior, as well as the Alpine audio group are all included. Being that it's based on a Willys trim, you're going to get a rear locker, no disconnecting sway bar, but it does look like it's going to have the Extreme Recon 35-inch tires and a little bit of a lift on there. Seems like an absolutely incredible buy at this price, and coming down from nearly $106,000 in the 2025 model year for the Rubicon, this is highly impressive. Another cool thing though, we're talking about order guides, we're talking about the 12 for 12s, is we did just get a text from our good friend down south, and he said that Tuscadero and Juice are now available to order as well, currently on the Wrangler. We knew about Juice for a little bit. The public didn't really know because they don't really post anything about these colors coming back out. But Juice is available, and I did read on a 392 group that someone ordered a Moab 392 in Juice already. But there also is the Tuscadero making a return. So once again, no posts about it, no Instagram stories, no nothing. Unless you saw one, I didn't see anything from Jeep. Tuscadero just quietly coming right back onto the lineup, at least to be ordered. Now, maybe what Jeep is doing is they're waiting for all these colors to kind of come out, and then they'll do the Willys 392 to help those things get sold. Because as you guys may or may not know, I actually picked up the first Goldilocks in the country, the gold color, the PYC paint code. We had that down at Jeep Beach, and everyone that's searching the website and searching everywhere, you can't even search for the vehicle. So those are in production. People are starting to get those. But Ryan, you talked to a guy that works at the plant, or he commented on us.
Yeah, he said none of them he's not seen any come down the line.
He's not seen one Goldilocks come down the line. So I know a lot of people are getting firm scheduled D1. Anthony down at Sands, he has a Moab 392 that he changed the color to Goldilocks, so that should be in. But overall, I'm curious on this strategy of just why you launch these colors, don't do any marketing, and just maybe let Dirt Road CRED kind of handle that side and get it out there to talk to people. But good news and also like what's going on news kind of at the same time with this. So it's a little bit odd for us. Just there's a lot of Jeep news right now, but I think it's just in a little bit of limbo as far as what's going to come out first, when you're going to be able to order it. And you guys better believe if you aren't already subscribed to this channel, we'd love to have you here. But not only that, if you're looking to order a new Jeep or just looking for the latest and greatest news, products, and all that, hit the subscribe button and you'll be up to date as soon as you can get one of these Jeeps in your driveway. So a really big milestone from Jeep. They just announced it. It was on a couple different news articles and different forum pages, but Jeep has officially reached the 1 millionth Rubicon sold. Now, what's awesome about that is the Rubicon is arguably one of the most capable Wranglers ever produced. It was able to conquer the Rubicon Trail in California, front and rear selectable lockers. The whole basic kind of origins of that is so odd, though. So 1 million Rubicons sold, and this came from a group called the Lunatic Fringe back in the early 2000s. Now, if this doesn't speak to you directly or kind of hit home, it definitely does for us. The group, the Lunatic Fringe, they actually designed, engineered, and pushed the heck out of the Rubicon becoming a reality in 2003. They had to do it on their own time with their own budgets and their own credit cards to get this vehicle to come out. They called them the Lunatic Fringe because they were just a little bit on the outside. They wanted a wheel. They wanted something more capable. And the current or the former CEOs and all the board that was in place in the early 2000s just said, no way. It's not going to work. Your guys are nuts. This is lunatic. Like, we'll never do that. 1 million sold in 23 years. That's what, 350 to 400,000 per year, and arguably one of the most profitable Wranglers because it has the highest price tag on it. What's wild to us is that we've talked to a lot of people that work for Jeep Corporate. We talked to these guys back and forth, and what's interesting is the fact that they're in the same boat as they were back in the early 2000s. They pitch these ideas, they give their thoughts, they give their true passion into what's going on, and I think a lot of it just gets kicked right out of the boardroom. So seeing that 1 million of these things were sold, Jeep ought to look back at that as a history lesson and think to themselves, you know what, maybe it is time that we start listening to these engineers and the lunatics that are involved in this industry and make some really big, impactful things, as Jeep has arguably been a little bit hit lately with some of the issues going on with the vehicles, the corrosion, the warranty stuff. I think that they could really learn from that and really pick it up. But we've owned a lot of Rubicons here personally, and it's really cool to just see 1 million of these things sold. And who knows, maybe the Goldilocks was number 1 million because that was a Rubicon. 1 million, and it was the gold Jeep. But either way, we do hope that some of the people up at the top that are in these corporate meeting boards, that are the shareholder meetings, all this stuff, start listening. And it seems like they are. It seems like there's been a huge shift since what was 4 or 5 years ago, because it was looking pretty bleak. But, you know, Ryan, we own a business, and I do know one thing, that if you see minus 27 billion, that's probably not a good thing. like just like on the ledger, minus 27 with too many zeros to actually count. I think they can really turn this thing around. I think there's a lot of good things going. Speaking of good things going, though, guys, we just returned from Jeep Beach. And a huge thank you to each and every one of you for stopping by, chatting with us, hanging out. Maybe you picked up a shirt or just took a picture and a handshake with us, because it was an absolutely mind-blowing experience for us. This is the first year we've had a true vendor booth at the Speedway, and then we had our subscriber celebration on the beach, and it was just mind-blowing. You guys came out, supported, showed up, and thank you to each and every one of you, as well as the entire team at Dirt Road CRED, our guys from Florida, our guys from Virginia, our guys from back home that came out, supported, worked the whole event with us. We couldn't do this without not only our viewers and subscribers, but all of the support we have from our family and friends. And we've got some ideas for next year, and we're even thinking of maybe doing the whole thing right on the beach the whole time. So thank you guys for stopping by. Drop a comment down below if you stopped by, if you hung out with us. And also, give us your thoughts on any of the 12 for 12s, the colors. If there's another color you're interested in, drop a comment down below. Jeep does watch these. We've had so many Instagram DMs from a ton of different people that work at Jeep, and they do like our content. So they are reading this stuff, they're viewing it, and we hope you guys really enjoyed this type of content now that we're back here in PA. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. A lot of you guys have been asking about the juice, what's happening with the juice. Don't worry, Ryan's just been ripping that thing a million miles an hour all over the place. But we got bumpers coming in. We've got a winch. We got some light bars. We got some stuff that we're going to be working on. We've got some new products. And then we're going to be doing some like first 10 mods to the Goldilocks. We've missed working on a Wrangler. It's been like over a year since we've had a new Wrangler on the channel. So we're excited about that. And we've got some really, really cool stuff coming. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, we would love to have you as part of this community because like we said to everyone down at Jeep Beach, and when we see you in person, this is the best Jeep community on the internet. So you guys make that possible, and a huge thank you to each and every one of you. From Ryan behind the camera and me here talking to you, we want you to get out there and earn yours.